WNBA has been around a couple of decades, and people didn't notice the game. They're noticing it now. Well, that's because of Caitlyn Clark, not Angel Reese.
I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times.
Angel Reese is having a big meltdown because of something harsh that happened, but it's really her own fault, and now she's facing the results. Meanwhile, the girl she's been talking about, Caitlyn Clark, is busy setting records like it's nothing. This so-called rivalry between them is completely one-sided.
I don't think Angel should be criticized at all. No matter which way it goes, she should never be criticized for what she did. I think everybody knew there was going to be a little trash talk in the entire tournament. It's not just me and Angel, so like I said, I'm a big fan of hers.
Clark has been ignoring Angel's trash talk for a long time, but even Clark's patience has a limit. Believe me, that limit has already been reached.
And trust me, that line's been crossed already.
She wants excellence, and she wants it now, and that's what makes her great.
If you're even remotely aware of the WNBA,
the rivalry between Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese is currently the biggest story in the WNBA. It's hard to miss. Both players entered the league with high expectations. However, Caitlyn Clark is starting to shine more than Angel Reese. Clark's impressive stats speak for themselves. Meanwhile, Reese is facing the tough challenges of being a rookie.
And maybe she embraces being the villain.
Caitlyn Clark's rise to the top isn't just a lucky break. She's not just any player, she's a stats powerhouse. She's averaging 18 points per game, 8.1 assists, and an incredible 90.1% free throw accuracy. Who even does that? She's outplaying everyone, and it's not just about scoring. She's making smart plays, setting up teammates, and doing it all with precision. She's the kind of player that coaches and analysts are raving about.
But make no mistake about it, Caitlyn Clark is the reason why everybody has an opinion on what happened in that game.
They're right. This girl spends more time in the gym than others do at home. She's always improving her skills, ensuring no one can catch her.
Caitlyn Clark's the golden goose. She happens to be a terrific talent who's white.
Let's be clear, Angel Reese is not someone to underestimate. She's a powerhouse when it comes to rebounds, pulling down 12.9 per game like it's nothing. Dominating the paint is tough, but she's great at grabbing offensive boards, giving her team extra chances, and making life hard for the other team. The issue is her scoring. She's averaging 13.3 points per game, which is decent, but compared to Clark's scoring streak, Reese seems to be lagging behind. Her shooting percentage isn't record-breaking, and that's where Clark starts to pull ahead.
And that's where Clark starts to pull away.
Go after her, compete with her, get the better of her at every turn. Nobody's questioning that you can't go after her.
The numbers show Clark is beating Reese in nearly every category, except rebounds. The media is buzzing about this. Analysts, former players, and coaches agree. Caitlyn Clark is currently exceptional. Stephen A. Smith is very clear. He highlights not just the stats, but also how Clark controls the game, evaluates plays, and boosts her teammates. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is still playing, but her impact isn't as significant, and it's noticeable.
Whether it's jealousy, envy, resentment, it's all justifiable because there were people that were pounding the pavement and going through so much to help elevate the WNBA's profile long before Caitlyn Clark ever came along, and yet...
But here's where it gets serious. It's not just about the numbers, it's about handling pressure. Caitlyn Clark is excelling every game. She's more focused, more effective, and just better overall. She's used all the rookie hype as motivation and is consistently proving her critics wrong.
I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates.
Well, let's just say the pressure's starting to crack her a little.
Well, let's just say the pressure is starting to get to her a bit. Sure, she's still putting up decent numbers, but you can see her frustration growing. The constant comparisons to Clark and the heavy expectations are taking their toll. There have been several times on the court where her frustration has really shown, and it's more than just normal competitive intensity.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Well, the pressure is starting to get to her a bit. Even though she's still putting up good numbers, you can see her frustration building. The constant comparisons to Clark and the heavy expectations are taking their toll. There have been several times on the court where her frustration has really bubbled over, and it's more than just normal competitive intensity.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
We're talking full-blown fits when things don't go her way.
We're talking full-blown outbursts when things don't go her way, and that only adds to the idea that she's struggling to keep up with Clark's rapid rise. If you think Caitlyn Clark's success is just luck, it's time to rethink. She doesn't just roll out of bed and play, she lives on the court. She puts in relentless hours with shooting drills and ball handling sessions, and she makes plays not just for herself, but for her whole team. That's where she outshines everyone else. Caitlyn isn't just scoring points, she's a mastermind on offense, controlling the game while others are trying to catch up. Her 8.1 assists per game show she's always thinking ahead, reading defenses like she has cheat codes. And her scoring? It's off the charts. With a 41.4% shooting rate from the field, she's not just taking shots, she's making them. Add in 33% from three-point range, and you've got a player who can dominate from anywhere on the court.
Folks is posting up, but you know who they go to. 22 from the outside.
Here's where she truly blows people away. A 90.1% free throw rate. That's incredibly precise. When she's at the line, you might as well just add those points to the scoreboard because she's not missing. It's like she views every free throw as a personal challenge to prove that she's perfect.
Recovered by Gabby Marshall. Here comes Clark. How will she go for history? There it is!
Even the pros are running out of ways to praise her. Dan Patrick has called her one of the most efficient scorers he's ever seen.
Well, I think everybody's jealous of Caitlyn Clark. I don't. But I do think they are out to prove a point. You're not coming in and dominating our game because we are grown women.
Stephen A. Smith isn't holding back either. He's saying she has the potential to be a generational talent. When big names like that are praising you, it's because you're doing something extraordinary. Caitlyn's control of the game, her ability to keep opponents guessing, and her calm under pressure are things that some players twice her age still haven't mastered. Her basketball IQ is incredible. She's making quick decisions while defenders are still trying to catch up.
Look at the record ratings they've produced because of her arrival. Once upon a time, they were watching about the audience in Indiana for Indiana Fever games was at about 4,000. Now it's at about 16 to 17,000. The ratings for the WNBA draft was 2.446 million, which was the largest in WNBA history.
But it's not just the stats. Her game is versatile. She has shooting range, good vision, and calm under pressure. Moreover, she knows when to speed up or slow down and how to exploit defenses. Experts have taken notice. The comparisons are becoming clearer. Reese leads in rebounds with 12.9 per game. However, that's her only edge. Stephen A. Smith noted that Reese is too focused on rebounding. In contrast, Clark's overall game is better.
Do I think it was assault, as the Chicago Tribune said? No, it was not. It was a hard foul. It's wrong. You don't need it in the game. And there's a lot of things that came out of that. People bringing in race.
And then there are the not-so-subtle digs in interviews. Reese has made some snarky comments, clearly frustrated by the constant comparisons to Clark. After one game where Clark completely stole the spotlight, Reese couldn't resist making a remark about how some players get all the attention.
I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time.
It's not just what Reese is saying, but also how she's acting during games. Her body language isn't great. She's rolling her eyes and checking out when Clark makes big plays, and it's obvious to everyone. Even her teammates are reportedly worried, wondering if her competitiveness is being overshadowed by insecurity. Analysts are also speaking up, saying Reese is letting jealousy take over, which is never a good sign for an athlete who's supposed to be at the top of their game. The relationships I create here are my legacy. Caitlyn Clark quite clearly announced back in Iowa just what she thought mattered the most to her. And now, as she continues to thrill the WNBA crowd with her record-breaking displays, she stands by her words. When the generational talent was drafted as the first overall pick this year, she was not the only one joining the league after shining for the Hawkeyes. Kate Martin was another Iowa alum who entered the big stage, joining the Las Vegas Aces. As their third encounter comes close, Clark is ready to host her former teammate just as nicely. In her recent media availability, the Fever guard talked about welcoming Kate Martin to Indianapolis. She said, "It's definitely pretty weird to us, like we were teammates for 4 years. We got very used to that and now going against." So then like you love it, you joke about it, but at the same time, it just takes some getting used to. I know a lot of our coaches will be here on the same night. Looks like a fun thing for all of them to be able to do too, and sharing that memory and that joy with us. But I'm just super proud of her and happy for her. The 22-year-old guard also hinted towards her former Iowa head coach, Lisa Bluder, making an attendance when Fever will lock horns with the Aces on Wednesday. Both of the WNBA rookies played 4 years together with Bluder at the helm and led the Hawkeyes to back-to-back NCAA finals. When the duo bid adieu to their alma mater, the 63-year-old also decided to step down from the coaching role. While Caitlyn Clark has definitely been the talk of the town with her exceptional rookie season, her best friend Martin is yet to have a firm grip with Aces. Nevertheless, she has always found her college best friend acknowledging her and their friendship. The friendship between the opponent rookies, back in May, the former college teammates faced for the very first time in W. While the excitement among enthusiasts was obvious, Clark only made the matchup even more interesting when she opened up on her bond with the Aces rookie. "Kate is obviously one of my best friends, somebody that was with me all 4 years at Iowa. I was the person that kind of begged her to come back for her 6th year," said the Fever number 22. After taking a redshirt year and benefiting from the NCAA's COVID-19 eligibility extension, Martin announced in February 2023 that she would be returning for a 6th and final season with the Hawkeyes. She, along with Clark, led the team to the finals but could not sweep the championship after falling to the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Caitlyn isn't much of a defender either. 2/3 of the way through the year, it was clear she was on an all-time record turnover pace. And for 2/3 of the year, Caitlyn's three-point shooting ranked near the bottom of the league in percentage. I still get frustrated because she won't shoot enough in fourth quarters because she defers to her vets. Angel Reese is actually a poor defender. Angel's team has now fallen to 11-22, so she isn't having nearly the impact that Caitlyn is having on her team. Angel Reese is better than Caitlyn Clark, is saying Rodman was better than Michael Jordan. The truth is, Angel's a poor shooter of the basketball. I don't know any other way to say it. She's just a poor shooter.
Skip didn't hold back when it came to discussing two of the WNBA's most talked about rookies, Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese. Let's see how Skip absolutely destroyed these young stars.
Caitlyn isn't much of a defender either, though she can and she will steal the basketball. She's 15th in the WNBA in steals.
First up, let's talk about Caitlyn Clark. Now, we all know she's been making waves in the league, but Skip's not buying all the hype. He starts off by dropping this bomb. Caitlyn isn't much of a defender either. Ouch! That's gotta hurt for all the Clark fans out there. But wait, there's more.
2/3 of the way through the year, it was clear she was on an all-time record turnover pace, the likes of which I have never witnessed. It's almost like she was trying to turn the basketball over.
Skip doesn't stop there. He goes on to absolutely roast Clark's ball handling skills. According to Skip, 2/3 of the way through the year, it was clear she was on an all-time record turnover pace. An all-time record? That's not the kind of history you want to be making in your rookie year, Caitlyn.
Caitlyn's three-point shooting ranked near the bottom of the league in percentage. Yet, you're right, the truth is...
But hold on to your seats, folks, because Skip's just warming up. He then takes aim at Clark's shooting, saying, "For 2/3 of the year, Caitlyn's three-point shooting ranked near the bottom of the league in percentage." Near the bottom of the league? That's not what you expect from someone who's supposed to be a sharpshooter.
I still get frustrated because she won't shoot enough in fourth quarters because she defers to her vets. She's got horrendous pressure on her.
And just when you think Skip's done with Clark, he delivers this final blow. I still get frustrated because she won't shoot enough in fourth quarters because she defers to her vets. Looks like Skip thinks Clark needs to step up and take charge in crunch time. No mercy from Bayless today. Now let's turn our attention to Angel Reese. If you thought Skip was harsh on Clark, wait till you hear what he had to say about Reese.
Angel Reese is actually a poor defender, Brittany.
Right out of the gate, Skip drops this bombshell. Angel Reese is actually a poor defender. Wow. For someone who's known for her physical presence on the court, that's a pretty damning assessment from Skip.
Angel's team has now fallen to 11-22, so she isn't having nearly the impact that Caitlyn is having on her team.
But Skip's just getting started. He goes on to question Reese's impact on her team, stating, Angel's team has now fallen to 11-22, so she isn't having nearly the impact that Caitlyn is having on her team. Ouch. Skip's basically saying Reese isn't living up to the hype and isn't making her team better. That's gotta sting.
Angel Reese is better than Caitlyn Clark, is saying Rodman was better than Michael Jordan, or Ben Wallace was better than Kobe.
And if you thought that was harsh, wait till you hear this. Skip actually compares the idea of Reese being better than Clark to saying Rodman was better than Michael Jordan. Talk about a brutal analogy. Skip's basically saying anyone who thinks Reese is better than Clark is out of their mind.
Angel's a poor shooter of the basketball. I don't know any other way to say it. She's just a poor shooter. She's now 38% from the floor, not from three. She's 2 of 12 from three. That's 17%.
But the knockout punch comes when Skip talks about Reese's shooting. He doesn't mince words here, folks. Skip straight up says, "The truth is and was a poor shooter of the basketball. I don't know any other way to say it. She's just a poor shooter." No sugarcoating there. Skip's calling it like he sees it, and he sees Reese as a liability on offense. Now you might be thinking, wow, Skip really went in on these two, and you'd be right. But here's where things get interesting. Despite all these criticisms, Skip actually ends up praising Clark quite a bit throughout the rest of the segment. He calls her a once-a-generation passer and even suggests she could be pushing for MVP. So what's the deal? Is Skip playing both sides? Or is he just being brutally honest about both the strengths and weaknesses of these young stars? One thing's for sure. Skip Bayless knows how to stir up controversy. By pointing out these flaws in Clark and Reese's games, he's guaranteed to get people talking. And isn't that what sports media is all about? But let's take a step back for a moment. Are Skip's criticisms fair? Is he being too harsh on these rookies who are still finding their footing in the league? Or is this tough love exactly what they need to hear to improve their games? It's worth noting that both Clark and Reese have had incredible success in their college careers. They're adjusting to a new level of play, facing the best of the best night in and night out. Growing pains are to be expected, but in the high-stakes world of professional sports, you're only as good as your last game. Skip's comments raise some interesting questions about expectations in the WNBA. Are we putting too much pressure on these young stars to be perfect right out of the gate? Or is this level of scrutiny just part of being a high-profile athlete? One thing's for certain. Both Clark and Reese have shown flashes of brilliance in their rookie seasons. They've also both shown areas where they need to improve. That's the nature of the game. Even the greatest players have aspects of their game they need to work on. So, what do you think? Did Skip Bayless go too far in his criticisms? Or is he just doing his job by providing honest, unfiltered analysis? Are Clark and Reese getting a raw deal, or do they need to step up their games? Whatever your opinion, one thing's for sure. The WNBA is more exciting than ever with young talents like Clark and Reese in the league. And as long as there are players making waves, you can bet Skip Bayless will be there with his hot takes, ready to stir the pot and keep us all talking. Caitlyn Clark's second triple-double also makes her the third player in WNBA history to finish a game with 20-plus points, 10-plus rebounds, 10-plus assists, 3-plus STL. This tweet alone shows how Caitlyn Clark continues to make history. In tonight's game, she once again showcased why she's one of the most dynamic rookies the league has ever seen. If an argument for Caitlyn Clark as the MVP had to be made, there are undeniable factors supporting it. Indiana Fever has gone from winning a dozen games last season to 18-16, improved to a 500 and are real playoff contenders. Meanwhile, Clark's picking up 3-point and assist records as a great passer and helping her team. So when the star rookie recorded her second career triple-double tonight, she aided Aaliyah Boston in making history herself. Not to be underscored, Boston had an impressive outing that puts her in league with WNBA titans like Lisa Leslie and Brittany Griner. Indiana Fever toppled the Los Angeles Sparks 93-86, with Aaliyah Boston recording a monster double-double with 24 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists, going 62.5% from the field. She's now only the third player in WNBA history to have multiple games in one regular season with 20-plus points, 14-plus rebounds, 4-plus assists, and 60% field goal percentage. The only others who have accomplished this are Lisa Leslie and the one who Boston recently clashed with, Brittany Griner. Caitlyn Clark notched the second triple-double of her career, 24 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds in this game. She's the only rookie to do it twice in the league. She also made 4 threes and had 3 steals. She got her first triple-double in July over New York Liberty. Her selfless passing style stood out in this game over the Sparks that a few ex-users compared her to Magic Johnson, the Lakers legend and Sparks co-owner, and it definitely enabled Aaliyah to record her own individual accolade.
Or to be fact, Binley not shooting the three that easily or that comfortably.
I don't know if that's comfortable, but it's nice by Caitlyn Clark.
The buzz and attention surrounding Caitlyn Clark's game are unlike anything seen in the league until now. The jersey sales, the sold-out stadiums, the peak viewership, this massive wave of popularity mirrors the excitement that swept through the NBA in the 80s when Michael Jordan became a household name. So WNBA analyst Nancy Liberman believes that Clark deserves admiration as MJ does, as opposed to the lack of recognition or criticism that may come her way. Calling out the critics and haters, Liberman on the Stephen A. Smith Show said, "I just don't understand people. Now you have signature shoes for both men and women because of what MJ did and how he and his team constructed business. Caitlyn is doing that right now, and she should be supported and not maligned for that." Liberman's claims about Clark's influence are understandable when we bring Clark's $28 million Nike deal, which is the most lucrative shoe deal in WNBA history. Clark is soon expected to receive her own signature shoe as well. Jordan's wasn't quite hushed itself. 5-year, $2.5 million deal, 3 times that of any other deal in the league. Thus drawing parallels, Liberman continues on to say that it is jealousy that is driving the lack of support toward Caitlyn Clark as previously observed towards other notable players like Jordan or Tiger Woods. It's not a Caitlyn thing, it's a people thing. I mean, people were so jealous of Michael Jordan back in 1984. UNC Chicago Stadium was half empty prior to him arriving. The stadiums were filling up then. TV wanted him and the Bulls on every game, she says. Expanding on her point, Liberman further exampled Woods as the catalyst to change in golf in terms of purse and TV ratings. All of a sudden, he gets to a certain point in his career and people are jealous and envious, you know? Liberman notes.
When I walked in here before the game, there were just hundreds of fans lined up.
Oh, yeah.
What Caitlyn Clark has done for the game is generational. And I just, as a baller, I just want to say thank you to you, Caitlyn Clark.
Absolutely.
For just lifting our game up, you and so many great players. But what you're doing, you're going to make all these women multimillionaires one day, like Tiger did, like Michael Jordan did. And we shouldn't hate on her. We should celebrate her, not tolerate her.
So you ask about Clark's impact? Within just 20 minutes, fans snapped up Clark's WNBA All-Star jersey in both colors, selling out completely. The Indiana Fever leads the league in attendance, recording a 265% jump from last season with a turn-up number of 503,921 across 31 games. Liberman's opinions were a continuation of her praise for the rookie from her most recent game. Nancy Liberman expresses her gratitude for Caitlyn Clark. Instead of just urging the fans, Liberman took the lead herself. During the broadcast of the Fever vs. Dallas Wings game, the analyst had high praise for the rookie. Fully aware that her bold statement might draw criticism, Liberman chose to speak her mind. She thanked Clark for drawing attention to the game. The WNBA 2024 season began with the highest attendance ever seen in 27 years. The continuous rise in viewership backs the claim, with the games averaging 1.32 million viewers in the first month, nearly triple last year's average. Fans voting for the All-Star has been the highest this year. What Caitlyn Clark has done for the game is generational. As a baller to a baller, I just want to say thank you to you, Caitlyn Clark, for just lifting our game up, Liberman said. And she isn't the first one to think so. She added, "You and so many great players, but what you're doing, you're going to make all these women multi-millionaires one day like Tiger did, like Michael Jordan did. And we shouldn't hate on her, we should celebrate her, not tolerate her." The growing crowds in the stadium are live proof of Clark's impact. The Fever rookie has undeniably transformed women's basketball, and she indeed does it in a way reminiscent of what MJ once did for the NBA.
Congratulations. Thank you. I'm not the you. I'm not the you.
It's a pleasure. Oh my God, Kelsey, thank you guys for supporting.
You were so excited. Oh my God. It's like usually the boys will just pass me like, yo. But they were so excited. That was so cool.
Simone Biles meets Caitlyn Clark. After another record-setting night for the Indiana Fever star, Caitlyn Clark is making history, and the whole sports world is cheering for her, including Simone Biles. Simone Biles was live in attendance at Gainbridge Fieldhouse as the Indiana Fever scored an 84-80 victory over the Connecticut Sun. While Clark had a powerful showing, scoring 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, a three-pointer early in the game, her 86th of the season. This broke the WNBA's rookie three-point record previously held by Ryan Howard. Following the game, Clark and her teammates met Biles and Olympic track star Gabby Thomas, who greeted them with hugs and smiles. The squad was ecstatic to meet Simone Biles and Gabby Thomas after our win at the reactions. The WNBA team captioned a video shared across its social media accounts. After the sweet meeting, Biles said to the camera, "They were so excited. Oh my God, it's like usually the boy will just pass and be like, yup, but they were so excited. That was so cool." She further commented on the encounter by sharing the video on X and writing, "Everyone watches women's sports. So happy to be able to go support. My first of many WNBA games." Thomas also spoke out on X, writing, "First WNBA game of many. Had so much fun supporting these stars." Other stars present at the game included Indianapolis Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson and David Letterman, per the Indianapolis Star. It's no surprise that Clark continues to break records and recently set a new WNBA rookie assist record. While speaking last month about not making the U.S. women's basketball team for the 2024 Paris Olympics, she told reporters that she continues to maintain a strong work ethic. "It makes me think of that's your time in college, and I feel like I was just a freshman in college. So it shows you that you gotta start working now if you want that to be your dream in 4 years, she said. So I think that's it for me is work hard and hopefully you can be there. Fans are buzzing with questions about why she didn't appeal her floor exercise score. Biles landed a solid 14.133, securing silver. But some eagle-eyed viewers think she might have been robbed. One curious fan took to Reddit, asking the burning question on everyone's mind. Why didn't Simone submit an inquiry on floor finals? She had nothing to lose by trying. Biles' own gym, the World Champion Center, dropped a bombshell on social media. They claim Simone was most likely underscored for her routine and that an inquiry could have pushed her over Andrade. But why didn't Team Biles make the move? Gymnastics experts are divided. One fan on Reddit spilled the tea. They probably realized there was no point. E-score can't be contested, so they couldn't inquire about that. Neutral deductions, Out of bounds being the main ones on the floor can be contested, but hers were indisputable, very clearly 2 feet out on both the second and fourth passes. Another fan commented, "You do have something to lose by trying. If she had inquired, they could have lowered her score and cost her a medal." But wait, there's more. Remember Jordan Chiles? Her coach, Cecile Landy, made a lightning-fast appeal that initially bumped Chiles to bronze. But the celebration was short-lived when the Court of Arbitration for Sports stepped in. The gymnastics community is in an uproar. Some fans are crying foul, while others are defending the judge's decisions. One fan on Twitter didn't hold back. "This is a disgrace. Simone was robbed and now Jordan too? What's going on with gymnastics scoring? Justice for USA Gym." But not everyone agrees. Reddit user gymnastics expert Hunter1 had this to say. "Look, I love Simone as much as anyone, but rules are rules. If she was out of bounds, that's on her. We can't just hand out medals based on reputation." On Reddit, user Artar Gymnastics sparked a heated debate with this emotional post. "Is anyone else struggling with Simone getting a silver on the floor? Wag. I am probably being dramatic and I am no way trying to take away from Rebecca, but I am having a really hard time accepting Simone got silver on floor. I've had a decent cry over it, and mainly because I so wanted her to finish the Olympics with that floor gold and to continue her winning streak on the floor. I was devastated after beam, but even more so after floor. I keep thinking, what if this is it? That was her last competition routine ever? I still don't think it was scored accurately, even with the 2 out of bounds, but nothing can be done about it now. I'm proud of her pushing through the pain of her calf, and I understand she probably couldn't stick her landings due to this. It doesn't seem to have bothered Simone, yet here I am a mess. My friends don't understand and think it's a bit odd a 34-year-old is this invested, so I am turning to the gym community for support." One fan, Grunt Rainfury3894, reacted on Reddit and said, "Would you really rather Rebecca did not win a single gold so that Simone could have one more? Every single gymnast works so damn hard and deserves that Olympic moment. Simone already proved the haters wrong. She got another Olympic medal. Her legacy is just fine. She did not need this." And Candy Coated Doom said, "I wanted her to finish the Olympics with floor gold too, but she wasn't going to get it with that routine. And she knew that too. She said she thought Rebecca was going to get it while she was waiting for her score." The controversy has even caught the attention of gymnastics legends. Olympic gold medalist Nastia Liukin tweeted, "My heart goes out to all the athletes involved. Scoring in gymnastics has always been complex, but we need to ensure fairness for everyone. #gymnastics reform." But amidst all the chaos, let's not forget the incredible performances we witnessed. Rebecca Andrade of Brazil took gold with a jaw-dropping routine that had everyone on their feet. And let's give it up for Biles, who proved once again why she's the most decorated gymnast in history. Non-aesthetic Things tweeted, "Simone Biles and Jordan Chiles bow to Rebecca Andrade as she wins gold in the women's floor final in a great display of sportsmanship." The New York Times tweeted, "Simone Biles finished her dangerously difficult floor routine at Tuesday's final, and the crowd roared in appreciation of the most decorated U.S. Olympic gymnast in history." Coach Joe Lee just dropped a bombshell about his journey with America's newest track and field superstars, Quincy Wilson and Messi Russell. The mastermind behind these Olympic phenoms is giving us an exclusive peek behind the curtain, and let me tell you, it's juicier than a post-race energy drink. In a jaw-dropping interview with 7 News Sports, Lee couldn't contain his pride, exclaiming, "I'm super proud. You really want to see the people who work hard and go after their goals to be rewarded at the highest level. But wait, there's more!" Lee shocked everyone when he revealed, "It really still feels like a dream. I am like, is this really happening? You know, small school in Potomac, Maryland. And then we started our program 10 years ago, and we just kind of built it and have amazing athletes like Messi and Quincy and so many others." One fan tweeted, "Coach Lee turning a small school into an Olympic powerhouse? That's some David versus Goliath stuff right there." While another raved, "Lee's the real MVP, turning raw talent into gold." But hold on to your hats because the drama doesn't stop there. Remember when Quincy Wilson was feeling the heat before his big moment? Lee spilled the tea to Citius magazine, saying, "He's got the pressure of the world on him. I don't know anybody, any kid at 16 years old or 17 years old or 26 years old or whatever, that can handle the pressure that he's under." And just when you thought it couldn't get any more intense, Lee dropped this bombshell. Wilson was in the hospital just a month before the Olympics. Talk about a comeback story for the ages. One sports psychologist exclusively told us, "The mental fortitude Coach Lee has instilled in these young athletes is unprecedented. It's not just about physical training anymore. It's about building champions from the inside out." But let's not forget about Messi Russell. This powerhouse hurdler faced brutal online trolling before the Olympics.